Hello viewers, welcome to National Examinations Council NECO 2022 Past Questions and Detailed Solution General Mathematics Paper 3 Objective Tests Questions 1 to 60 Solution to 60 questions in one video. Question 1. Express 0.0030752 to 3 significant figures SF. Now SF means non-zero numbers from the left. So for 3SF, we are interested in the first 3 non-zero digits. That is 307. You must note that the zero that is between two significant figures is also significant. Now, our interest is 7. The next number is 5, which is rounded up to 1. You add it to 7 and you have 8. So, to 3SF, you have 0.00308. By this, the correct option is C. Question 2. Simplify this fraction. Solution. First, we need to change the mixed fractions to improper fractions. Also note that BODMAS is applicable. When you have 2 or more signs, you use the order of BODMAS to simplify. Now, this is the given problem. If you convert to improper fractions, you have this result. From the meaning of BODMAS, you need to deal with division before multiplication. Now, when dividing, division sign is changed to multiplication. As you are doing that, the fraction at the right of the sign is inverted. So you have 3/4. You simply cancel out. When you do that, you have 3. Now let me show us. You can divide 10 by 5. You have 2 is remaining. You divide this 2 by 4. You have 2 is remaining here. You divide 18 by 2. You have 9 is remaining. 9 cancel 9. You have 3. 3 is remaining. 3 is remaining. So the correct option is E. Question 3. Find the 15th term of a sequence whose nth term is given by t sub n equal to 5n minus 5/5. This is the nth term. You can factor out 5 from the numerator, and that 5 cancel this 5. You have this as the nth term. So at the 15th term, it means n is equal to 15. You come here and replace n with 15. You have 15 minus 1, that is 14. C is the correct option. Question 4. If 3 to the power of 6 minus 9s is equal to 27 to the power of 1 minus 2s, find the value of s. You have exponential equation. Now you can express 27 as base 3. That is 3 to the power of 3 in this form. Of course, this power 3 here is to multiply the existing power. The bases are the same. You equate them and the powers are left. You open this bracket, you have these results. Next thing is to collect like terms. If you do that, you have this result. After subtraction, 3 is equal to 3s. To get s, divide both sides by 3 and s is equal to 1. The correct option is C. Question 5. Simplify 2 root 18 minus 4 root 32 plus 5 root 50. Solution. You need to express in basic form and then simplify. In basic form, you look for a factor in the given numbers that is a perfect square. So for 18, you have 9 times 2, 32, 16 times 2, 50, 25 times 2. Now, if you evaluate root 9, it becomes 3. So you have 2 times 3 root 2 minus 4 times 4 root 2 plus 3 times 5 root 2. 25, the root is 5. 16, the root is 4. If you multiply the coefficients, you have this result. When you, okay, so we have, the next thing is to add. So first, we take this plus this gives 21 root 2. Then minus 16 root 2, and that is 5 root 2. The correct option is C. Question 6. Simplify 9 to the power of 1 over 4 times 27 to the power of 1 over 2 over 81 to the power of 1 over 2. Solution. Looking at the bases 9, 27 and 81, you can express them to the lowest base of 3. You have it in this form. Now let's apply power law to simplify the power. So here you have 2 times 1 over 4. That simplifies to 1 over 2. 3 times 1 over 2. You have 3 over 2. Then 4 times 1 over 2. You have 2. In the numerator, you can apply multiplication law of indices. When numbers with the same basis are multiplied, their powers are added over denominator. If you simplify the numerator, you have 3 square over 3 square, and that is 1. The correct option is E. Question 7. Approximate 8.5326 to the nearest hundredth. You need to know this TH. This TH means you are looking at the decimal part. Now, after the point, the next digit to your right is tenth. The next one is hundredth. So 3 is in the position of hundredth. If you look at the next number 2, you round it down to 0. If you add it to 3, you also have 3. So to the nearest hundredth, you have 8.53. The correct option is B. Question 8. Given that log 2 is equal to this, log 3 is equal to this, calculate without using tables log 6 minus log 0.3. You should evaluate log 6 minus log 0.3 on the basis of log 2 and log 3. Now this is the given expression. In terms of 2 and 3, you can express log 6 to be log 3 times 2. you should know that the base is 10. When no base is given, you assume the common base of 10. And 0.3, if you convert it from decimal to ordinary fraction, you have this result. From the laws of logarithm, product implies addition. So you have log 2 plus log 3. Then minus quotient implies subtraction. You have it in this form. If you open the bracket with this minus sign, you have the, of course, here becomes plus if you open with the minus sign. Now you see that plus log 3 minus log 3 is 0. You are left with log 2 plus log 10. This is the value of log 2. Log 10, 10. Because the base is 10, you have 1. After addition, you have 1.30103. The correct option is E. Question 9. A toy train starts at the station and moves round a circular track of 220 cm. How many rotations will it move along the track when it has covered 440 cm? Solution: number of rotations is equal to total distance over circumference of the track. Total distance 440 cm, circumference of the circular track is 220. If you divide, you have 2. The correct option is A. Question 10. A square of side 10 cm is measured by a student as 9.9 cm. If he uses her measurement to calculate the area of the square, calculate the percentage error. Now note area of the square. That means you need to get the actual area and the wrong area. Then the error is the difference over the actual area times 100%. This is the formula for percentage error. Area of a square is L square. Now actual area, the length is 10. 10 square is this. The wrong area, the length is 9.9. You have it in this form. When you square it, you have this. Therefore, the percentage error is the difference in the actual and wrong area over actual area times 100%, and that is 1.99%. The correct option is E. Question 11. The nth term of an arithmetic progression AP is defined by t sub n equal to 2n plus 1 over 2. Full stop. Find the sum of the first 10 terms of the AP. Now, let the terms of the AP be t sub 1, t sub 2, t sub 3, t sub 4, and so on. So we need to generate some terms so that we can get the first term and the common difference precisely. So this is the nth term. The first term is when n is equal to 1. You have it in this form. 1 over 2 is the same as 0.5. So the first term is 2.5. The second term, n is equal to 2. If you replace n equal to 2 in the nth term, you have 4.5, and the third term is 6.5 when n is equal to 3, and so on. Note that the first term is 2.5. Common difference is 4.5 minus 2.5. You subtract the second and first term, or the third and second term, and so on. You will have the same 2 as the common difference. This is the sum of terms formula when you have first term and common difference. Sum of the first 10 terms means n is equal to 2. Sorry, n is equal to 10. You replace n with 10. First term 2.5, n is 10 again. Common difference is 2. When you simplify, you get this result and this. After addition and multiplication, you have 115.0. The correct option is D. Question 12. The fifth and 11th terms of an arithmetic progression are 13 and 31 respectively. Find the sum of its first term and common difference. Always note that whenever the first term and the common difference of an AP are unknown, that question always leads to a system of two linear equations which you solve simultaneously. So this is the nth term formula. At the fifth term, n is 5 and the fifth term is 13. If you replace them in the nth term formula, you have this result. You replace n with 5. Then the fifth term is 13. So 13 is equal to a plus 4d. You can call that equation 1. The 11th term is 31. At that point, n is equal to 11. So t sub 11 is equal to a plus bracket open 11 minus 1 bracket close times d. The 11th term is 31 equal to a plus 10d. You can call that equation 2. Solve both equations simultaneously using elimination method. So you have the two equations rearranged in this form. Let us eliminate variable a because all the conditions required to eliminate a are satisfied. You can see my teachings on simultaneous linear equation in my YouTube channel. Then if you subtract, you have this result. For you to eliminate a, the coefficients need to be the same, and when the signs are the same, you subtract. So when you subtract 13 minus 31, you have minus 18. A minus a is 0. 4d minus plus 10d, you have minus 6d. To get d, divide both sides by minus 6, and d is equal to 3. To get a, you need to substitute d equal to 3 into any of the equations. I'm using equation 1. This is equation 1. You replace d with 3. You simplify to get this result. If you collect like terms, you have this result, and the first term a is equal to 1. Therefore, sum of the first term and common difference equal to 1 plus 3 equal to 4. The correct option is A. Question 13. The sixth term of a geometric progression GP is 486. Find the common ratio if its first term is 2. You use the nth term formula for a GP. From the question, the sixth term is 486. At the sixth term, n is equal to 6. The first term is 2. So t sub 6 is equal to 2 as the first term times the common ratio unknown. That is arrow to the power of 6 minus 1. That simplifies to this. To get arrow power 5, divide both side by 2, and you have 243. To get arrow, you need to take the fifth root of 243, and that is 3. The correct option is D. Question 14. Evaluate 256 over 81 to the power of minus 3 over 4. Solution. The first challenge is to remove the negative sign from the power. Since you have fraction, if you interchange the position of the numerator and denominator, the power becomes positive. The next thing is to ensure that this 4 is removed. You know, if you factor out 3, what you have remaining is 1 over 4. That is fourth root. So you need power of 4 to remove 1 over 4. You simply express 81 such that the power is 4. The same thing you do to 256. You have it in this form. Power of 4 is common here. You factor it out to have this result. By the time 4 cancel 4, you have 3 over 4 to the power of 3, and that is 27 over 64. The correct option is D. Question 15. Simplify 110011 base 2 times 101 base 2. Solution. What you do is to carry out normal multiplication, which you have in this form. You use the first digit from right to multiply everything here. You have this result. You use the second digit, you have this result. You use the third digit, you have this result. One thing you must note is that the digit you are using, your answer begins under that digit to the left. After the multiplication, the next thing is to add. 1 plus nothing is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. If you add here, you have 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 1. And here is 1. By this, the correct option is A. Question 16. Simplify 3 over root 3 plus 6. Solution. Rationalize the denominator by using the conjugate of the denominator to multiply both numerator and denominator. The conjugate is simply change in the sign that connects the two terms. So root 3 plus 6 becomes root 3 minus 6. This is the given problem. You multiply numerator and denominator by the conjugate. The numerator is written in this form. You have to expand the denominator. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. Root 3 times minus 9 times minus 6. You have minus 6 root 3. The next thing is to use 6 to multiply root 3. You have plus 6 root 3. Plus 6 times minus 6. You have minus 36. These two terms cancel. You are left with this. If you subtract the denominator, you have it in this form. You divide 3 and 33 by 3. You have this result. This, okay, the numerator over minus 11, you can as well factor it out to be minus 1 over 11. Multiply this. If you stop here, the option is not there. So the minus sign will open the bracket. You have it in this form. You interchange the position of minus root 3 and plus 6. You know, addition is commutative. Minus root 3 plus 6 is the same as plus 6 minus root 3. You have this final result. By this, the correct option is B. Question 17. The value of a car depreciates by 20% at the beginning of each year. If the car costs 1 million naira, find the value of the car after 2 years. So let's take first year. The depreciation is 20% of the cost. That is 20% of 1 million. You express it in this form, and that is 200,000 naira. So amount at the end of first year is the cost 1 million naira minus depreciation amount 200,000, and that gives 800,000 naira. This amount becomes the correct amount at the beginning of second year. So you get the depreciation of that amount, which is this. You express it in this form, and that gives 160,000 naira. Amount at the end of second year is 800,000 minus 160,000. That gives 640,000 naira. The correct option is C. Question 18. Given that matrix A is equal to this and matrix B is equal to this, evaluate AB. That is A times B. For you to multiply any two matrices, you must understand that the number of columns in the first row is in the first matrix is equal to number of rows in the second matrix. That condition is satisfied. So you have AB equal to matrix A times matrix B. To multiply, you take the first row here to multiply first column. First row of the first matrix times first column of the second matrix. Corresponding entry to corresponding entry, and you add to the next. The same first row times second column. You have this result. When you are done with that, you shift to the second row and use it to multiply the two columns respectively in this form. If you evaluate here, 2 times 1 is 2. Then plus minus is minus. 1 over 3 times 3 is 3 over 3, and that is 1. So you have minus 1. If you evaluate this, you have this result. If you evaluate the second row, you have this result. If you subtract and add, you have the matrix with the entries 1, 2. First row, second row, 15, 30. The correct option is A. Question 19. Find the values of S for which this expression is undefined. Solution. An expression is undefined if its denominator, not numerator, denominator is equated to 0. So this denominator, you equate it to 0. That is S plus 2, S minus 4 equal to 0. You equate each term to 0 in this form. And when you solve for S is equal to minus 2, or S is equal to 4. Therefore, S is equal to minus 2 or 4. The correct option is C. Question 20. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are 2 and minus 3 whole number 1 over 2. Solution. The required equation can be obtained using the simple rule below. S squared minus sum of roots times S plus product of roots equal to 0. So let's get sum of roots. You add the two roots together. So you have 2. Plus minus is minus. You convert this mixed fraction to improper fraction. You write this as over 1. If you find the LCM and simplify, you have this, and finally minus 3 over 2. The next thing is to get product of roots. The two roots being multiplied, you have it in this form, and you have minus 7. The equation is S squared minus sum of roots times S plus product of roots equal to 0. Multiply through by 2 to clear fraction. So you have 2s squared. Minus times minus is plus. You multiply this term by 2, you have 3s remaining. Plus times minus is minus. Multiply 7 by 2, you have 14. By this, the correct option is D. Question 21. Simplify a squared minus 4 over a squared minus a minus 6. Solution. You need to factorize both the numerator and denominator. Numerator is by difference of 2 squares, and you have this result. If you look for 2 factors of 6, that the sum is minus 1 in A and the product is minus 6, you have minus 3 plus 2, which you express in terms of A and replace the middle term with them. If you group the terms in twos, you have this result. You factor out common terms from the 2 brackets, you have this result and this. From here, this, we cancel this, you are left with A minus 2 over A minus 3. The correct option is E. Question 22. Given the quadratic equation 3s squared minus 5s equal to minus 2. Find the product of roots. Here, you are supposed to factorize the equation or solve using any other method. Then you multiply the two roots together. But there is a simple rule of C over A that is the same as the product of roots. So the given equation, you need to rearrange it to give this. To apply the rule, the right hand side needs to be 0. So minus 2 is moved inside. After putting it in this form, A is coefficient of s squared, that is 3. B is coefficient of s, that is minus 5. C is the constant term, that is 2. Therefore, product of roots, that is C over A, is simply equal to 2 over 3. The correct option is A. Question 23. Simplify m squared plus m over n, bracket open, m plus 1, bracket close, bracket open again, m plus 2, bracket close. Solution. The denominator is already in simpler form. All we need is simplify the numerator by factoring out m. You have this result. M cancel m, m plus 1 cancel m plus 1. You are left with 1 over m plus 2. The correct option is C. Use the truth table below to answer questions 24 and 25. Question 24. Which of the following symbolic statements illustrates S? This is S. If you check S very well, the outcome for S is true when both P and Q are true, and that only happens in conjunction connective, that is and. So you have P and Q. The correct option is A. The next question 25. Which of the following symbolic statements illustrate Y? Now check Y. For Y, the outcome is false when both P and Q are false. That only happens in disjunction connective, that is all. So the correct option is C, P or Q. Question 26. The perimeter of a rectangle is 44 cm and its area is 120 square centimeters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. That is, you should find the length and the breadth. So let's start with the perimeter. The formula is this. The length and the breadth are unknown, but the perimeter is 44, equal to the right hand side. Divide through by 2. You have 22 equal to length times breadth. You call that equation 1. Area of a rectangle is this. The area is 120 centimeters, equal to LB. You call that equation 2. Now, equation 2 is non-linear, and as such, we have linear and non-linear equations. Full stop. When you are to solve linear and non-linear equations simultaneously, the best approach is to use the method of substitution, and you start with the linear equation. Equation 1, you make any of the variable the subject, and you put that resulting equation in equation 2 and continue with the solving process. Starting from equation 1, you have it in this form. You make the length the subject. You have to transfer the breadth to the left hand side. You have this as equation 3. Equation 1 produced 3. To continue, you need to substitute equation 3 into equation 2. This is equation 2. Where you see L, you replace it with equation 3, you have this result. If you open the bracket, you have this result. If you rearrange by transferring all the terms from the right to left, you have this result equal to 0. So we have a quadratic equation. Let us solve by factorizing. To factorize, look for two factors of 120 such that their sum is minus 22 and their product is plus 120. The factors must be minus 12 minus 10. You express them in terms of B and replace the middle term with them. Next thing is to group the terms in twos, because that is the purpose of making the equation to be 4 terms. You factor out the common terms in each bracket, you have this result and this result. You equate each factor to 0 and B is equal to 12 or 10. Back to equation 3 so that you can get the length. This is equation 3. When the breadth is equal to 10, the length is 22 minus 10, that is 12. You have the first set of results. The length is 12, the breadth is 10. When B is equal to 12, L becomes 22 minus 12, that is 10. You have this set of results. But you should know that the length is always longer. So the dimensions are length, breadth, that is 12 meters, 10 meters. The correct option is B. Question 27. Find the values of s in the equation 3s squared minus 8s minus 3 equal to 0. Let us solve by factorizing. This is the given equation. If you compare it with the general quadratic equation, you can see that a is equal to 3, coefficient of s squared. B is equal to minus 8, coefficient of s. C is equal to minus 3, the constant term. And anytime a is not equal to 1, you need to get AC. So AC is minus 9. Now your attention must shift from C to AC. So you get two factors of 9 that the sum is minus 8 in S and the product is minus 9. Such factors are minus 9 plus 1 in S. So you express the factors in terms of S and replace the middle term with them. The purpose is to get 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. From each group, you factor out the common terms, you have this result and this result. If you equate each factor to 0, you have S equal to 3 or 3S equal to minus 1, which implies S is equal to minus 1 over 3. Therefore, S is equal to minus 1 over 3 or 3. The correct option is D. Question 28. Factorize 5y squared plus 2ay minus 3a squared. Solution. Let us write the general quadratic equation in this form. Before now, the constants are always a, b, c, but because we have a here, to avoid confusion, I'm using p, q arrow, and the variable is y. So when you compare p is equal to 5, coefficient of y squared, q is 2a, coefficient of y, and arrow is minus 3a squared, the constant term. A is not equal to 1. Sorry, p is not equal to 1. You need to get AC, which is now p arrow, and that is minus 15a squared. Now, you get 2 factors of 15 such that the sum is 2 and the product is minus 15. Mind you, a is included in those factors. So such factors are plus 5a minus 3a. You express the factors in terms of y and replace the middle term with them in this form. The purpose is to have 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. If you factor out the common terms in each group, you have this result and this result. The correct option is D. Question 29. Evaluate sy squared minus z squared over 2yz plus s squared over 2y plus z when s equal to 2, y equal to minus 3, z equal to minus 2. You write the given expression and you replace s, y, and z with what they stand for, in this form. So if you simplify, you have this result and this result. You know that plus against minus becomes minus. So here you reduce by 2, you reduce by 4, and you have this result. If you find the LCM and simplify, you have this. When reduced, you have 2 over 3. The correct option is B. Question 30. Let P such that I pass mathematics. That is it's a simple statement. Q such that I pass physics. Conclusion. I pass mathematics if and only if I pass physics. Translate the conclusion into symbol. This statement, if and only if, is biconditional or by implication, and the symbol for it is two-head arrow. It can be one line or two lines. So by this, the correct option is C. I pass mathematics if and only if I pass physics. Question 31. Given that V is equal to 1 over 3 times pi arrow squared times bracket open 2 arrow plus h bracket close, make h the subject of the formula. Solution. This is the given formula. To clear fraction, multiply through by 3. To get the terms in the bracket, divide through by pi arrow squared, and to get h, transfer 2 arrow to the left. You have this result. The correct option is B. Question 32. A varies inversely as the square of B, and B varies directly as the square of C. Find the equation connecting A and C. From the first statement, the inverse of A and B squared is this, and the second statement, B varies directly as the square of C, as the square of C. Now, in variation, we always replace the symbol of variation with equality sign and also multiply the right hand side by the symbol, by the constant of variation. You have it in this form. You are asked to find the equation connecting A and C. To get that, you need to replace B with KC squared in the first part. This is the first part. You replace B with KC squared, and the power of B affect them. If you simplify, you have this result and this. Therefore, A is equal to 1 over KC squared. By this, the correct option is not available. Question 33. If M varies inversely as N and M is equal to 15 over 2 and N is equal to 4, find the value of N when M is equal to 1 over 20 in bracket to the power of minus 1. This is the inverse variation between M and N. To continue, you replace the symbol of variation with equality sign and multiply the right hand side by the constant of variation K. You have M equal to this and N equal to this. The purpose is to enable you get K. So you replace M and N with what they stand for in this form. Cross multiply to clear fractions. You have 2K equal to 4 times 15. Divide through by 2. K is equal to 2 times 15, and that is 30. After K is known, you simply state the formula connecting M and N. After you replace K with 30, you have it in this form, or Mn is equal to 30. You are asked to find N when M is equal to this. You can make this power to be positive when you interchange the position of 1 and 20 in this form. You simply have 20. So you go back to the formula, connecting m and n. You replace m with 20 and you have 20n equal to 30. To get m divided both sides by 20, you have this result, which simplifies to this. And when you express as mixed fraction, you have one whole number 1/2. The correct option is C. Question 34. Find the value of k in the figure below. In the given figure, k plus 3k is equal to 180 degrees. The reason is that opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. You add, you get this result. Divide both sides by 4 to get k, and k is 45 degrees. The correct option is C. Question 35. Given the line 2s minus 3y equal to 9, determine its gradient. You have to express the given line in gradient intercept form. That is y equal to ms plus c, where m is the gradient. In the given line, you simply solve for y. You have it in this form. Divide through by 3. Y is equal to 2/3s minus 9/3, which simplifies to this, and the gradient is 2/3. The correct option is B. Question 36. In an isosceles triangle MNO, where MN equal to MO equal to 6 cm and angle NMO is 112 degrees. Calculate NO to two significant figures. Now, this diagram represents the information. You have M, N, M, O, and they are 6 cm respectively. If you are to find NO, the angle facing NO is known. That means you go by cosine rule. This side is small letter m, here small letter o, and this small letter n. So you have the cosine rule in this form. You replace n, o, and angle m with what they stands for. You have this result. When you simplify, you have this. Simplify further, you have this. To get m, which is NO, take the square root of 98.9712, that is 9.9484 to 2SF. You have 9.9 cm. The correct option is B. Question 37. Find the total surface area of the cuboid. Draw below. Solution. Surface area of a cuboid is this or this. From the diagram, the length is 18, the breadth or width is 5, and the height is 3. You replace the various dimensions in the formula. That simplifies to this, and you have 318 square centimeters. The correct option is D. Question 38. Find the acute angle between the lines S plus 4y equal to 12 and 2y minus s equal to minus 6. The acute angle between any two lines is given in this form. So you have m1 as the gradient of the first line and m2 the gradient of the second line. You have to express the lines in this form so that you can get m. M is the gradient. You simply solve for y in both lines. Line 1 simplifies to this, and by that the gradient m1 is minus 1 over 4, and that is minus 0.25. The second line simplifies to this, and the gradient m2 is 1 over 2, and that is 0.5. You go back to the formula, you replace m2 and m1 with what they stand for. That simplifies to this and this. Now, what this symbol does is to ensure that all negative value or values are converted to positive. If the values are positive, they remain the same. After division, you have this result. To get alpha, the angle between the lines, you need to take the inverse of tangent of this result, and that gives 40.601299 degrees. To one decimal place, you have 40.6 degrees. Correct option is B. Question 39. Find the equation of a line passing through the point minus 1, 4 and parallel to the line y equal to 3s plus 2. Solution. First, find the gradient m1 of the given line. The given line is already in the form y equal to ms plus c, where m is the gradient. Therefore, m1 is equal to 3. If two lines are parallel to each other, their gradients are equal. So let the gradient of the second line be m2. Hence, m1 equal to m2 equal to 3. Let the equation of the required line be y equal to ms plus c. Now you know m to be 3. Hence, you have y equal to 3s plus c. But c is needed. Since the line passes through this point, it means s is equal to minus 1, y is equal to 4, so that you can get c from here. So you replace y and s with what they stand for. If you simplify, you have c equal to, here you have 3 times minus 1, that is minus 3. If you transfer it, it becomes plus 3. So if you add, c is equal to 7. Hence, the equation of the line is, you come back here, y equal to 3s plus 7. But if you check the various options, you need to transfer 3s to the left. So you have y minus 3s equal to 7. The correct option is B. Question 40. A sector of a circle subtends an angle of 90 degrees at the center of the circle. If the area of the sector is 11 square centimeters, find its radius correct to 2 decimal places. Area of a sector is given by this formula. The area is 11. The angle subtended at the center is 90 degrees over total angles 360 times pi 22/7 times radius, that is arrow square. Arrow is unknown. You simplify to this form. If you reduce this, you have 1/4. Multiply through by 4 times 7 to clear fractions, you have this result. To get arrow squared, divide through by 22, you have this result, and 14 is arrow squared. To get arrow, you need to check the square root of 14 to 2 decimal places. You have 3.74 cm. The correct option is B. Question 41. Find the curved surface area of a cone of height 4 cm and base radius 3 cm, correct to 2 decimal places. Solution. For a cone, the curved surface area is equal to pi arrow L, where the height is 4 cm, the radius is 3 cm, but the slant height is unknown. But by Pythagoras rule, the slant height, the height, and the radius are connected in this form. So you have height is 4, you have 4 squared plus arrow is 3, 3 squared, that is 16 plus 9 equal to 25. To get L, take the square root of 25, and that is 5 cm. Back to the curved surface area. You have pi 22/7 times radius, arrow, that is 3 times the slant height L, that is 5. If you multiply, you have this result, and if you divide to 2 decimal places, you have 41.14 square centimeters. The correct option is C. Question 42. The angle of elevation of the top B of a wall from a point A on the ground is 30 degrees. If AB is equal to 50 meters, how far is A from the foot of the wall? Correct to 2SF. Solution. This diagram illustrates the information. You are asked to find the distance from A to the foot of the wall, that is D. Now, looking at D, you know AB, this angle is known, so BF is opposite, this becomes adjacent, and you have hypotenuse. We must have cos 30 degrees equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, that is D over 50. Cos 30 is 0.5 equal to D over 50. Multiply through by 50 to clear fraction. D is equal to 0.5 times 50, and that is 25 meters. The correct option is A. Question 43. Given that sin theta is equal to 3/5, where theta is an acute angle, what is the value of sin theta plus cos theta over 1 minus tan theta? Now, the information about sine will help us to get cosine and tangent from a right angled triangle. So you have the triangle. Now this is the acute angle theta. Sine is defined as the ratio of opposite to hypotenuse. So the opposite is 3, hypotenuse is 5. From Pythagoras rule, the adjacent is 4. Now let's get cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. That is 4 over 5. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. That is 3 over 4. Now let's get the numerator. Sin theta plus cos theta. You have this result, and 7 over 5. Let's get the denominator. 1 minus tan theta. That is 1 minus 3 over 4 simplifies to this, and you have 1 over 4. The whole expression, numerator divided by denominator. Division sign changes to multiplication, and you invert the fraction 1 over 4 to 4 over 1. If you multiply, you have 28 over 5, which simplifies to 5 whole number 3 over 5. The correct option is D. Question 44. In the figure below, O is the center of the circle. Find angle CAF. Solution. That is this angle. To get this angle, we need this angle. Look at C and E. Their sum is 180 degrees. You have the reason. So angle E is 120 degrees plus angle C equal to 180 degrees, and angle C is 180 degrees minus 120 degrees equal to 60 degrees. Look at triangle CAF. This angle here is exterior. It means the sum of A and C is equal to 100 degrees. You have the reason. So you have A plus 60 degrees equal to 100 degrees, and A is equal to 100 degrees minus 60 degrees equal to 40 degrees. In 3 letters notation, you have angle CAF is equal to 40 degrees. The correct option is B. Question 45. S and Y are two places on the equator, and their longitudes are 165 degrees east and 57 degrees west respectively. What is the shortest distance between them? Solution. The shortest distance between the two places is distance along great circle. The equator is a great circle. Such distance is computed using this, and because the two places are on different sides of the meridian, you need to add to get their angular difference as 232 degrees over 360 degrees times 2 times pi 22 over 7 times radius of the earth 6,400 kilometers. If you multiply, you get this result. If you divide, you get this result to 1 decimal place. that is 25,925.1 kilometers. The correct option is C. Question 46. In the figure below, PQ and PRO are tangents from P to a circle with center O. If angle QPRO is 34 degrees, find the angle marked S. So this angle is given as 34 degrees, and that you should find this angle. Solution. You have the diagram. Now you should note that anytime a radius intersects with a tangent, the angle formed is 90 degrees. So this angle and this angle, they are equal to 90 degrees. Radius perpendicular to a tangent. Now, in quadrilateral ORPQ, if you add the four angles, the sum is 360 degrees. You have the sum of, the four angles. If you add the four angles, so the sum of the four angles is 360 degrees. If you add, you have this result. If you transfer 241 degrees to the right hand side, you have S to be equal to 360 degrees minus 214 degrees, and that is 146 degrees. The correct option is C. Question 47. Find the gradient of a straight line joining point A and B. Gradient is given by this formula. For point A, 3 is S1 minus 5 is Y1. For point B, 1 is S2 and 3 is Y2. If you replace S1, Y1, S2, Y2 with what they stand for, you have this result, which simplifies to this, and when you divide, you have minus 4. The correct option is A. Question 48. A plastic spherical ball of radius 6 cm was melted and reshaped into a cube. Find the length of the cube correct to the nearest centimeter. Solution. Surface area of spherical ball is equal to surface area of cube. From the given information, we can get the surface area of the spherical ball. You equate it to the surface area of cube so that the length of the cube can be obtained. So surface area of a spherical ball is 4 pi r squared. You have this result and this result. From this expression, you have 452.5714 equal to surface area of a cube, which is 6s squared. You have this result. To get s squared first, divide through by 6 and you have this result. To get s, you need to take the square root of the last result, which is this, and to the nearest centimeters, you have 9 centimeters from 8.68 for 9 centimeters. The mean age of 7 children is 10 years. The age in years of 6 of the children are 3, 6, 8, 14, 15, and 16. Use the information to answer questions 49 to 51. Question 49. Calculate the age of the 7th child. Solution. Let the age of the 7th child be S. If you go by the question, the mean age of all the children, the 7 children, the mean age is 10. And you know, mean is the summation of the item over number of occurrence. So mean age is equal to sum of ages over number of children. Now you have the ages for 6 children. For the 7th child, S, you add it to it over 7. The mean age is 10. Multiply through by 7 to clear fraction, and also add the constant in the numerator. You have this result, and you have 70 minus 62 equal to S, and S is equal to 8 years. So the age of the 7th child is 8. The age of the 7th child. The correct option is C. Question 50. Find the modal age. Solution. The modal age is the age that occur most. That is 8 years. The correct option is B. Question 51. What is the median age? To get the median age, you need to rearrange the age data in either ascending or descending order. But we have the ascending order of arrangement. Then you get the middle age. That is 8. The middle age is 8, and that is the median age. When you have odd total, you have one middle number. If you have even total, you have 2 middle numbers, and the median becomes their average. But for this problem, the median age is 8. The correct option is C. The mean of the following set of data 5, 7, 9, S, and 6. The mean is 6. Use this information to answer questions 52 and 53. The first question, 52, determine the value of S. This is the mean formula, so the mean is 6. You add all the data together over number of times they occur, that is 5. You multiply through by 5 to clear fraction, and you add the constant in the numerator. You have this result, and you have 30 minus 27 equal to S, and S is equal to 3. The correct option is B. Question 53. Find the variance. For ungrouped data, you can obtain the variance using this formula. Summation means addition, so you subtract the mean 6 from each data, then you square plus the next one. So the first one is 5 minus 6, you square it, plus the second one is 7 minus 6, you square it, and so on, over 5. You have 5 data points that made up that set. So if you subtract and square, you have this result over 5, and that is 20 over 5. you have 4. The variance is 4. The correct option is B. 2 fair dice are thrown together. Use the information to answer questions 54 and 55. Question 54. Calculate the probability that the sum obtained is less than 8. So you draw the sample space. The 2 dice, each die has 6 sides, 1 to 6, 1 to 6. The first one is sum. So you add. You take this one, you add it to all the sides, you get this result. You take 2, you add it to all the sides, you get this result, and so on. Now, the sample space, number of elements in the sample space, they are 36. Now, we get where the sum is less than 8. So you have from here, from 7 to this point, the sum is less than 8. And if you count them, they are 21 in number over sample space 36. That simplifies to 7 over 12. The correct option is E. Question 55. Find the probability that the sum obtained is a multiple of 6. That is, numbers that 6 can divide without a remainder in the sample space. You have this set of numbers and 12 as multiples of 6. They are 6 in number. So probability sum is a multiple of 6 is equal to 6 of the numbers over sample space, and this simplifies to 1 over 6. The correct option is A. Question 56. Find the mode of the distribution below correct to 1 decimal place. The distribution is grouped data, so you have the interval, then you have frequency. For us to get the mode, because we have grouped data, you need to get the class boundaries. To get the class boundaries, you need to get the boundary value, and boundary value is difference in adjacent size divided by 2. You can take 25 minus 24 or 30 minus 29. Difference is 1. Divide by 2, you have 0.5. To get the lower class boundary, you subtract the boundary value from the lower class limit. So 20 minus 0.5, you have 90.5, and so on. To get the upper class boundary, you add the boundary value to the upper class limit. Let's take 29 plus 0.5, you have 29.5, and so on. Now, the modal class is that class with the highest frequency, that is 7. For group data, mode is computed using LB plus delta 1 over delta 1 plus delta 2 times C, class size. Now, LB is the lower class boundary of the modal class, that is 24.5, lower class boundary. Now, delta 1 is the difference between the modal frequency and the one before it, that is 7 minus 3 equal to 4. Delta 2 is the difference between the modal frequency and the one after it, that is 7 minus 2, you have 5. Then C is the class size 5. So mode is equal to 24.5 for the lower class boundary plus delta 1 4 over 4 plus 5, that is delta 1 plus delta 2 times 5 class size. That simplifies to this. You have this result and this result. After addition, you have 26.7 to 1 decimal place. The correct option is E. Question 57. Find the range of the following set of numbers. Range is the highest value minus the lowest value. That is 24 minus 2, you have 22. The correct option is E. Question 58. What is the derivative of f of s equal to c, where c is a constant? The derivative of any constant is 0. The correct option is B. Question 59. When a stone is dropped into water, the radius of a circular wave is increasing at the rate of 0.2 meter per second. Find the rate at which the area is increasing when the radius is 0.7 meters. Solution. Area of circular wave is pi r square. From this area, we need to get the rate of change in area with respect to the radius r, that is dA dr. You know, pi is a constant. If you differentiate r square, you have 2r. So you have 2 pi r. From the question, this is the rate of change in radius with respect to time, 0.2 meters per second. Now you are asked to find the rate at which the area is increasing. That is dA dt with respect to time. That is dA dt. The three parameters are connected by chain rule in this form. So dA dt is equal to dA dr 2 pi r times dr dt 0.2. So you have 2 times 22 over 7 times radius 0.2 times 0.2. If you multiply, you have this result. After division, you have 0.088 meter square per second. The correct option is D. Question 60. Evaluate integral 3 root s ds. Solution. This is a given problem. 3 is a constant. You can take it outside the integral sign, or you can well leave it. Now, for us to integrate, the rule is that integral s power n ds is equal to s power n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. Now, the power is n, so we need to express root s as s power half so that the power becomes visible. So for you to integrate, you add 1 to half and divide by the sum of the powers in this form. If you add the powers in the numerator, you have 3s power 3 over 2. If you add 1 to half, you have 3 over 2. So if you divide the two terms in this form, you see that you can write this over 1 or leave it, but this division sign changes to multiplication and you invert this fraction, so you have it in this form. Now 3 cancels 3, you are left with 2s to the power of 3 over 2 plus s. That over 2 means square root, so you have 2 times square root of s cubed plus c, the constant of integration. Whenever you are dealing with indefinite integrals, the constant of integration is always added.